Steve Smith here. I am your CAD tech guru, and this is going to be another tutorial I'm going to do for you. This time we're going to be discussing the trim command, and we will be building upon previous lessons. So we're going to be using the line command, the fillet command, the offset command, and now we're going to incorporate the trim command. We'll continue using the same simple house model that we've used in the previous tutorials, and just build upon this and add another command to your skill set there. So what we're going to start with here is this house, and let's draw free form again. We're not going to be starting and using specific distances or anything like that, but just to sum up the trim command real quickly, it's exactly the way it sounds. You can trim a line or an object uh, back to a specific point, and those points can be either points that you choose or it can be other objects. Depends on your needs. So just as a quick example, I'm going to just draw some random stuff here like this, just to give some intersecting lines. Okay. Now, the trim command, just like any other command, the full command is trim, T-R-I-M, and then you can hit enter. And then from this point, as you can see on the command line, it's asking you to trim select objects or select all. Okay, so what this is asking for is what object you want to use to trim to. Another way of thinking of this would be what your knife is going to be. So select your cutting edge. So in this case, let's select this line as the cutting edge. Okay, now we're done selecting, so I'm going to hit enter. And then now it's saying trim. So what do you want to trim? So here I could select this, and you can see that's going to trim that off right there. So I can keep selecting things that I want to trim. So here I could trim that, or you could come to this side and trim that, and you can see it's going to take it all the way back to here, like that. And then I could trim here. And then when I'm done trimming, hit enter, and that completes the command. So I'm going to hit undo, enter, to bring all this back. Now, I'm going to hit the alias for trim, which is T. Again, I believe that's pretty common alias for trim command. So I'm going to type T, enter. Now this time I'm going to select two trim points, this one and this one. And then I'm going to hit enter, and then you can keep selecting, and you can see it'll trim between those two lines. Those are the two cutting lines. And then enter to complete the command. Okay, I'm going to hit U, undo, enter like that. Now, another thing that you can do when trimming, I'm going to hit T, enter, and then I'm going to pick 2 points like this, and then enter to start selecting what I want to trim. You can pull a fence or a crossing in order to select your object. So instead of selecting all these one at a time, I could just pick a point here and move the cursor to the left slightly and come down, select another point here, and I use that crossing window to trim those lines. Enter to complete the command. So you can see how that can work. I'm going to undo. Also, you can use that to select, just as though you're selecting anything, T, enter. I can use a crossing to select that, and then enter, and then use a crossing to select those. Enter to complete the command. Undo again. Another thing that you can do using the trim command is when you hit T, enter for trim command, if you select enter again, so I'm going to hit enter again, and now basically what that'll do is start trimming off to the nearest line or object. So now if I just go in here and start selecting things, I can select whatever I want, and it's just going to trim back automatically to the nearest line that it intersects. I hope that makes sense. This is real good if you just don't want to have to select something and you know you just want to trim back to a certain object, and you can just enter real quick and start picking lines to cut them off. Okay, I'm going to undo again, enter. So selecting the actual cutting line can also be really useful. Enter. Like let's just say I want to trim this line, but you know I'm selecting a point that's out here and I want all of this line to go back to here. So I might want to select this and then hit enter. And you see I could select this and it's going to get rid of the whole thing. Never mind that it's crossing over a lot of other lines. So you can see how both of these can be useful depending on your situation. Okay, so I'm just going to erase all this, and let's use the trim command to draw this house again. So again, we're 10 by 10 here, an extra 20-foot wall sticking out over there. So I'm just going to freely draw a line here. I'm going to use ortho F8 like that, enter. Now I'm going to offset 10 feet for the bottom of the roof line. This is the grade line. And then I'm going to draw another line over here like this and offset that. Enter, 10 feet, enter. And we'll offset that, enter to complete the command. Offset, enter, 20 feet, enter. Pick there, enter to complete that command. Now, instead of the last time I think we filleted these corners, this time I'm going to use the trim command. So let's use it all the different ways that we just talked about. So enter, and then I'm going to select this as my cutting line, and then enter. And then I'm going to select this line, and this line. Enter to complete the command. So you see how that works. Now this time, let's do it using, selecting multiple objects. So enter. I'm going to select this line, enter, and then I'm just going to pull a crossing across that to select both of those, enter. You can do the same thing across the top. So enter, select this line, and then enter, and then just pull a crossing across all of those, enter. Okay, now let's use the enter, so that it'll trim to the nearest. So I'm going to hit enter, and then I'm just going to pull a crossing window across that, and then complete the command. So you get the idea of how the trim command works. Okay, let's keep going. I'm going to offset 6 foot 8 inches, and that would be the top of our doors and windows across here. So let's come across. We've got 3'6" with a 3-foot opening. There's 4 foot on each side of these, 4 foot high, 3 feet wide. So let's offset 4 feet on each side like this, and then down like that. So that's part of the windows, and then we can offset 3 feet to each side like that, so you can see where those are going to be. So let's uh, not sure. There's another way to select is using a fence. So one quick way that you could do this would be enter, and then F enter, and then you can just pull a fence all around like that. See? Okay, I'm going to undo that. So enter. You can just use your crossing windows to select like this, and then see if I select this way, it's still going to leave me with some of these lines over here. So if I wanted to, trim these off and trim those off and trim those off and those. So if I want to get rid of all of this over here, actually I want to leave this one up here. So I can trim and select both of those lines, trim that off, but I don't want this one over here. So I could trim and just select that and pick that. So it gets rid of that line. It just depends on your situation and how you want to do it. The goal always is to do whatever it is you need to do in as few steps as possible and as few keystrokes as possible. So it depends on what you're going for as to which method you want to use. Okay, so I'm going to offset 3'6" and like that, and then offset 3 foot for the door, and then we'll go T, enter. I can pick that, and then enter, and then crossing across the top, enter. Now this time I'm going to hit T, enter, enter, just pick both sides like that. So there's your door and your windows. Now to do the roof, um, this is 6 feet high and 6 feet across. So let's try doing it using a trim command. Let's draw the 12-inch overhangs, this and like this, and then offset 6 feet like this. Okay, I'm going to throw in a new trick here just for the heck of it. This line it rises 6 feet and then runs 6 feet. So that line is going to be a 45-degree angle. So there is a way that you could change your snap angle and use ortho at different angles. As you can see right now, if I were to draw a line using ortho, it can only go vertically and to the side. But if I use the command snap angle, it's SNAP and ANG is the command. Snap ANG is the command. I've got it as an alias set to SA. There it goes. Whoops, hung up a little bit. Snap angle, so SA. Now here it's asking you for the value for snap angle. So we know this is going to be a 45-degree line. So I'm just going to type 45, enter, and you can see my aperture is turned at a 45-degree angle. So in order to set it back, snap angle, 0, and that puts it back to your standard 0. Okay, so anyway, let's set our snap angles, SA, enter, and then I'm going to set it to 45, and then just draw a line from here like this, enter. And then I'm going to draw another line from here down like that, enter. And then I'm going to set the snap angle, SA, enter, 0, enter, back to 0. So now, you know what? Let's set the snap angle back to 45 again and go ahead and draw this line. There we go. Now snap angle 0. And then I'm going to use the trim command. And I'm just going to hit T, enter, enter, and just start picking things. Everything off the way I want it. So as you can see, the trim command is a really powerful command. I think when you master this, you're going to use it a whole lot. So I hope this video was helpful. Please do remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. We will see you in the next video. Thanks.